And even though election results have been called in all 50 states, attorneys general from Pennsylvania and 3 other states are asking the Supreme Court to officially declare the 2020 presidential election over and throw out a Texas-backed lawsuit seeking to reverse the outcome. Kevin Whitelaw is the Bloomberg News deputy managing editor, and he's been tracking this story and joins me now from Washington. Kevin, it's good to see you on Quick Take. The presidential election, it's clearly over. Do you expect the Supreme Court, though, to intervene here?
Really, no, we don't. It would be a real shocker if the court does. And I think the most likely thing could be as early as the next, really any minute, the court could simply dismiss the case. This was a very unusual case filed directly to the Supreme Court using a method usually used for things like water disputes and other things between states. But it is really effectively one state trying to overturn the results in several other states. Never seen anything like it. The case has really been pretty widely ridiculed by legal scholars and is just not seen as really having any of a chance. Even though despite all that, we've seen lots of other Republican-led states sign on or try to sign on to it and endorse it. We've seen Trump try to intervene to support it as well, and we have seen more than 100 House Republicans voice their support for it, too.
Okay, I want to hit on what you just said at the end there. More than 100 House Republicans have signed on to support it, and other states have as well. What's the game plan here? Why are they doing this when it's so clearly going nowhere?
Why have they been doing it all along?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good
obviously,
question.
some of this is about simply the rhetorical support of the president. Some of it may be essentially latching on to any single last remaining straw they can to try to find a way to change the result that they don't like. And some of it, frankly, is just about weakening the incoming president and making sure that the Biden administration from day one struggles with some of the just with its legitimacy among half the country.
But it's kind of laughable because some of the lawmakers who signed on to this were lawmakers who were elected in the states where they're arguing the election was rigged or it was fraudulent in some way, which would, in a logical sense, say that their election isn't legitimate.
Right, or that it wasn't rigged very well.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly right. And I think that's one of the many reasons that not a single court has taken really any of these claims seriously. They've barely heard them, they've barely dealt with them, and most of these things have been dismissed extremely quickly. So we did have today, Texas filed its reply brief to the states that obviously contested what Texas was trying to do in this suit, and that opens up the court to basically dismiss at any time. The most likely thing is a one-line dismissal, which is the same thing that happened with a Pennsylvania case that the court addressed earlier in the week. It's also possible that the court takes a few extra days to write an actual opinion. We just don't really expect that because I don't really think there's any particular reason for them to drag this out any longer. We are looking ahead to Monday, which is when the Electoral College meets. So in all 50 states, electors go, many in person, maybe some virtually, to cast their ballots officially in each state, to cast their votes, Electoral College votes for Joe Biden or Donald Trump. And that is when Joe Biden is going to top the 270 electoral votes needed to become the next president of the United States, officially.
And we probably will not see the president concede at that point, even, I imagine, but we can't tell the future here. Kevin, what are critics of this lawsuit and critics of these Republicans saying about how this could potentially damage elections here in the U.S. moving forward?
Yeah, there's been a ton of concern, and obviously we don't really know going forward what the result is going to be, and some of it is probably going to be affected by how Republican politicians respond in the coming weeks. We actually do expect on Monday, after the Electoral College vote, leading Republicans, more of them will likely recognize Joe Biden's victory and maybe congratulate him and say that they're ready to move on. Maybe not Donald Trump, but we are expecting some others to do that. The more that starts to happen, some of this damage may go away. Having said that, it obviously has raised a ton of questions about the legitimacy of votes. It's going to make voting itself just an even more partisan and complicated affair going forward. And we'll see a very early test of it in Georgia with 2 runoff Senate elections in January.
Kevin.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.